And now, Jabroni Studios, in association with Big Herm Productions, is proud to present to you, recording from an undisclosed location in Oakland, Connecticut. It's Chris Burns, it's Chris Lynch, this is Dysfunction Junction.
What in the actual fuck is going on?
Yes.
You are.
And it's the choice of a new generation.
Clearly. And on this side, I got the non-fat kid version.
See,
right here.
there it is.
And I'm here to tell you that whether you're a fat kid or you're a non-fat kid, whatever kind of kid you are, grab yourself a popsicle, wipe the boogers right onto your sleeve, just like this, just the way God intended it. Lean back, clear the lungs, and say, welcome to Dysfunction Junction.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
My name is Chris Burns. To the immediate right of me on the screen, the esteemed co-host.
Chris Lynch.
And, of course, from the home office in Poop Hole, Colorado, he is the one and only Big Herm, Michael P.S. Herman.
What is up?
I don't know. I'm just tired of having these balloons fly over my house and take pictures of me while I'm smacking the ham, to pictures of Avril Lavigne. China doesn't need to know what I'm doing, neither do the rest of you, but I feel like you're my family. All of you, the dysfunctionals, you guys need to know.
China doesn't need a balloon to know what America's doing. That's what TikTok is for.
Exactly.
TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, you name it.
Well, no. TikTok
Herm.
is specifically a Chinese-owned conglomerate, and unfortunately, with it's privately owned. No. Nothing in China is privately owned, just so we're all clear, everybody at home who thinks it's owned by a Chinese company. No,
that's a thing called communism.
There is no such thing. Everything there is state-sponsored, okay? So if it's a private business, it's a private business front with the government in it. So, just make sure you tell Sherman Mao what's up on your TikTok. Thank you.
And children, this is why socialism or communism is bad. Stop trying to tell me that it's not.
I mean, let's be honest. Let's be middle-aged adults. Every ism on the planet, unfortunately, usually gets developed into something horrible. Okay, if you look at the purest form of, you want to look at the purest form of communism, all right, that there is on the planet. I'm gonna use the word, and the people in Sweden can fuck off because it's not pejorative here. But the Eskimos, as we know them, and I use that word with complete respect, because I don't believe them. They're supposed to say Inuit, but technically there's 3 tribes.
Yeah, I'm not into it.
It's not. I'm not into it either. But yeah,
just once in a while on the weekends.
Eskimos, purest form, right? That was at one time in college, but $50 was $50. The Eskimos are the purest form of communism. They work for the group, and everybody has enough, and nobody worries. But again, in that purest form, nobody specifically is the richest person. There isn't one guy sitting in a big ass igloo going ha 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 ha. No, everybody has just enough to survive. Those that have more give to those who have less.
Everybody reaps the benefit.
Everybody shares their skills. Somebody's better at sewing. Somebody's better at hunting, and that's how they work. The problem is when you involve humans that also want. Again, you know what fucked up communism in China and Russia? The leaders wanted to be capitalists.
Mm-hmm.
Well, see, you can.
They liked our money and our money system, but had no way to actually get it with their system, so they became dictators.
You can't put your chocolate in my peanut butter. It doesn't work that way.
You can be a socialist in a capitalist society, but it doesn't work the other way around. You can navigate you through your life as a socialist in a capitalist society.
Well, yeah, I mean, look at you've got good socialist societies. Look at what are they? Denmark and those countries.
Yeah.
The
France.
No, they're just fucking poor. They're just fucking poor, and they're pussies when it comes to a fight. Let's be honest. They run away. No, I'm talking like Sweden and shit, where there isn't much difference between a cook and a doctor as far as pay. There is a difference, but also you've also got a lot of things that are provided for you very well. You don't, as a dishwasher making the lowest amount possible on the scale, have to pay for medical for anybody. You can have 10 children and the government pays excellent medical.
Yeah, but for every Denmark and for every Sweden, you have Venezuela, Brazil.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
There are examples of how all of those isms work correctly. The problem is that greed is usually on the part of either one or the very few. Usually screw that up because they use that system to gain their own wealth rather than working the system.
Well, you say isms, and I think what you had mentioned about the Inuits, tribalism is probably the most purest form of government, because like in most tribes, and Inuits is a tribe, what you say is true. Everybody has just enough to get by, and nobody has an excess of anything. They live a comfortable life in their little bubble.
Right.
So,
it's a completely clean, unadulterated form of communism. Everything works for the community, not
right. But you go
for one.
You go to Northern Africa, where there are still tribes that have very little communication with modern society. They still, to this day, and they've been tribes for thousands and thousands of years, and they've evolved with us. You don't hear a lot of things about disease running rampant in their communities because, well, guess what? They live off the land, so they're a little bit more immune to that shit. They actually let their kids get dirty.
Heaven forbid you let a kid get dirty nowadays around here. Lysol stock would go up.
Yeah, but no, I think tribalism is probably the purest form of society and government. Because that's how we started.
Which is weird that you say that, because we live in a society right now that everybody wants to be against tribalism. Heaven forbid you have groupthink, but then if you don't think like the other group, you're an asshole. So what is it? You can't have two things. These two things cannot be true at once.
No, I don't. I think it's something a little different. I think they think.
They don't think.
No, it's more of a divisive tool.
Right.
I don't want to be a member of that tribe. I want to be on my own. But when you're on your own tribe, somebody else, you're not on your own. There's got to be somebody else, otherwise there's no tribe.
There's got to be a yin.
There's no one person tribe, man. There's got to be a bunch of you. So you thinking you're thinking different is just thinking you're thinking different with a bunch of other people who thinking they're thinking different. So you're all thinking the same. So you're back to where you were the first time. Now you just think you're better than the other people.
You're an individual as much as the next guy that looks and thinks just like you.
Right. You're an individual as much as the next guy with you at the rally. Yes.
Bingo.
And when they have a war, they're not fighting for the stuff that the other tribe has. They're fighting for the land, so they can produce more.
Well, because usually land is life, is resources, is food, is a place for livestock to go. It's not.
So if you're,
it is money if you break it down. If you have to put a value on it, they're looking for. In our world, that all has a monetary value. For the same reason, in their world, it's that important. They just don't associate the money value. I could marry my daughter off to you for 3 goats. To them, that's what's the value.
I want 3 goats. I want 3 goats and a sack of potatoes. That's what I want.
Well, and that's why Native Americans had wars. They weren't looking for their stuff.
They were the most peaceful people on earth. Don't you read Facebook?
Oh, okay.
Ryan can suck it.
My people were not peaceful at all.
No, not at all.
I don't know if y'all ever read about the Apache Indians.
No, not nice.
But it basically means we fight everybody.
Well, because as their tribe grows, what do they run out of? They run out of resources.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Right.
Because they have too many people per capita.
They've harvested the land
on their land.
They could.
So we look over to the tribe to the east and the tribe to the west. Which way do we want to go? Who's got the bigger plot of land that we can take over? I'm going to go west if that's a bigger plot. And that's why there was such migration. I mean, there are people out there who want to deny that Alaskans are not Native American. They are as Native American as Mexicans are.
Yeah, well,
because Mexicans came from Spaniards that either mated with the Mayan side of it or the native side of it. So I saw the special about this a couple of weeks ago. Is that most, if you trace a Hispanic lineage back, you're going to hit an Indian somewhere that's indigenous to this country.
Because it was all unincorporated land at one point.
And a Peruvian, same thing. Peruvians, they migrated up through this way when it was still all attached, and when shit hit the fan, they stayed here. And what happens when you interbreed? You get a new.
Well, yeah, you can pretty much go back in in pretty much any of the lineages in North America, and all over the place. And you're going to find Spanish blood because the Spanish went to like the Philippines and like bred with everybody there, and then they left and they went somewhere else, and then they bred with everybody there.
I just had a conversation with someone earlier about
and then they went
when
to some
Australia
other spot in South America and bred with somebody there.
Australia, for as far away as it is from the United Kingdom,
they went there and bred with everybody there.
And that's where they threw their prisoners back in the day, if you remember,
yes,
in the 1500s and 1600s.
The island was literally a penal colony. It started. They sent you there, they dropped you off, and then they left. We're not worried about whatever you do. You can't get anywhere from here. It was the original Alcatraz. You can't get off this island.
Pretty much. And if you did get off the island,
it was so far away from everything that there was no resources to build a proper boat to get anywhere.
You'd have to be Michael fucking Phelps to swim from Australia to New Zealand.
Right, and you couldn't, and there were people that lived on the island as off, so you couldn't just like start building a ship because they put the kibosh on that.
Right.
But yeah, so they just dropped you there, and that was it. Bye-bye. See ya.
Where's all our lovelies today? I'm kind of getting a little upset. None of our lovelies are here yet.
There's nobody here today.
It's 6 o'clock on a Tuesday night. We had a couple people swing in and out. I've been watching the numbers go up and down, and they come in and they go out. Maybe I'm not showing enough skin. I don't know.
Oh, please don't.
Hey! Oh my God.
That's it. We're going to get demonetized. Oh, wait.
Yeah, we're not monetized at all.
We're going to get, whatever our status is getting D-something. So, yeah. So, if we're not making money for getting D-something, we're going to make money. There it is.
We're going to get deplatformed, but the money is going to start rolling in.
Free the nipple.
Oh, my Lord.
Free the nipple. That's all
Just so long as I don't have to see the sweater on your back, George, I'm okay. Oh.
George of the Jungle?
No, George the Animal.
Yeah, that too.
Oh my Lord! What do you want to talk about? You guys are leading this show. I'm just balloons. Here. I'm here for comic effect.
We got balloons. We have Santos.
Oh Lord, more on him. I love it.
This
ethics committee. Whoever saw it coming.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. You know what I'm waiting for? Given the way, look, McCarthy basically gave up everything, every power he had, in order to get the spot. Like, I'm waiting for Santos on the way to his shit to be like, before he says anything, to be the one guy that brings up that we need to replace the speaker. Because perfect. It's a perfect loophole. I'm waiting for Santos to say something about the speaker and start some shit, just because he's getting backed into a stupid corner. This guy This guy has said some shit that it's worse than the Olympics lies we used to tell.
No, there's no we involved. I think I told all of those.
It's worse than the Olympics lies, but I'm just what
they sounded
fuck?
good. They sounded good.
They did.
Oh, listen. Go ahead, please.
I don't remember what the latest one was, but it was so fucking absurd. So absurd. I mean, you're in politics, dude. You're going to get fact-checked at one point in your life, or your career.
At some point.
Unless your name is Joseph R. Biden, everybody gets fact-checked.
how did he perpetuate that? So his parents for in the 9/11 South Tower or whatever the fuck. How, one of them was he was one of the producers of Spider-Man the musical on Broadway.
Interesting.
He's not old enough. He's only in his fucking mid to late 30s. Christ. Tell a lie that's going to be at least age appropriate. I would have believed you. I would have believed you if you said Les Miserables or Phantom of the Opera, you dipshit. If you were 60.
I don't know. This guy, it just seems like every third word that comes out of his mouth has to be fact checked.
Yeah,
because he's not. He just
they elected him going.
Is his name even George?
Is his name even Santos? For all I know, he's one of the Three Stooges.
He's like what? Like a Spanish, Chinese, Russian, Jewish.
Juan Epstein Mei-Ling.
Yeah, I don't.
It's just unfucking believable. And the fact that, and I like the fact that the media is going in this direction and kind of questioning him. But it just seems like, finally the gloves are off. We have now the media is looking at both sides of the aisle going, okay, everything's fishy. Not just the Trump thing here. And if you go to the other different media outlets, it's a Biden thing here. Oh, no, they're coming after him with both guns, as well they should.
Yeah, both sides, red and blue, are pissed about this. The blue because, well, to be honest, the left will use this as a tipping point or an arguing point. But unfortunately they are going to miss what I feel is the real arguing point. I feel the real arguing point is not that what party he's a member of. I feel the arguing point is why has the system been allowed to get to this level of just bullshit?
Mm-hmm.
How have we allowed candidates to be able to do this and nobody's looked it up, nobody's checked it? What, you saw it on the internet, so it had to be fucking true? What?
And that's what I meant.
In this day and age of having a supercomputer in my fucking hand,
yeah,
and the access to every piece of knowledge on the planet outside of China, because they don't share shit. How does this guy get this far and nobody's checked? I don't even want to say, sorry, Lynch. I don't even want to say that it's the left. That's why this was allowed to happen. No,
it's a failure on both parts.
Right, he's on the right. So you guys embrace this asshole. Did nobody vet him? Look, I don't let nobody into my friend group until I talk to at least 3-4 dudes that say, "Nah, he's all right. Trust me. Just give him a chance. Don't kill him yet."
Yeah, but that's what my point was. Is like, how did he slip through the cracks? How when you say something outrageous like that, is anybody actually listening? That's the scary part. Is they probably weren't fucking listening to the guy. So he just kept getting away with it. Oh, what other telltale can I tell? And maybe he played it off like a joke. And now, oops, he's caught. I don't know. I just think that's a failure. That's a failure in both parties to let this guy get this far. And now it's blowing up in everybody's face. The big debate over if he won the vote or not. Then here he is, and now he's a liar.
I'm wondering where this whole being called on the carpet to talk to it's like it's an ethics probe basically. So, so all right, great, but what's the outcome one way or the other? Are we just going to do this probe and then that's it? The probe was done just for the sake of showing it? Because if we do it and we find there's a little bit of some shit, like he's not really,
he's sunk. If they're actually doing this to do something, he's sunk.
Behavior unbecoming of a elected official.
If you go by that criteria, Mike, then all of our elected officials
No,
in Washington
I understand that. I
can
guess
suck the high hard one.
I guess what I'm asking though is, but yes, they do. But there's an acceptable range of fuckery that is allowed within the system. All right.
I got
all right,
you.
and everybody knows it. There's an acceptable level of fuckery. All right.
It's a fuckery tolerance.
Right. So
like when you're making metal.
Santos has exceeded his fuckery limit. All right, and everybody's kind of pissed about it. So if we determine
around
officially that he exceeded his fuckery limit, everybody else kind of stays within bounds. He's exceeded his limit. He's used up all of his minutes, bitch. What's the punishment? And where does that lead? Does he get? Is he removed? Do we bring him down to the floor and spank it? Bailiff, take him outside and whack his pee-pee.
What was the line? What was the line from what's the name of the movie? School of Rock, where he's trying to explain to the parents why he can't tell them what the kids are learning, and it starts with it's teacher-student confidentiality, and if I break that, I could be dismembered by the board.
Dismembered by the board. Yeah,
yeah. That's what's going to happen. Santos is going to be dragged out back and drawn and quartered.
You know what I mean? Bailiff, take him outside and whack his pee-pee. What's the point of the whole process if there isn't actually a repercussion?
Well, I really hope they're not doing this just for show, because that makes me look.
No, I want to see him whack his pee-pee.
If they do it for show, that makes them look. If they just do this for show, that makes them look so fucking stupid.
I don't know that it's so much for show, but there is a point where, especially now, the left has to look tough because they've fucked up every other inquiry they've ever made, including 2 impeachments and an insurrection that wasn't an insurrection. It was basically trespassing. They have to look tough now, and they finally found something that has teeth. That actually has worth behind it. This guy has lied. And even now he's caught out.
What you found is an incident that neither side can deny is there.
Right. You can't say it's,
one side says it's there, and the Republicans right now were like, guys, we got to do something about this asshole. He's making it fucking bad.
He actually did this shit.
Right, like or more of the case of he didn't do any of this shit.
You need a big piece of carpet.
All this? Dude, see this list on his shit? Yeah, right here on the screen. And I'm doing it and a thing, and see the list? Yeah. He didn't do any of that shit.
Yeah, you're gonna need a big carpet to sweep that mess under.
Exactly.
You can't just go, it's a one-time thing.
Which I still think it's funny.
Happened 1,000 times.
I still think it's funny. We can and I'm not standing up for George at all. I'm not. But we have all of his lies. We have all of his lies laid out on the carpet. We still don't have Epstein's client list.
Never happen. It'll never happen.
You're right. It won't.
It will never happen because
too many powerful elites on the list.
There's so many people that the West Coast would implode. Let's just say.
Well, not only that, have you seen those pictures? I've watched that documentary at least twice on Netflix. Yeah. You seen the people who are in those pictures with him on that island?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Tom
President
Hanks,
Donald Trump, President Bill Clinton, Tom Hanks, Harvey Weinstein, Oprah Winfrey. I mean, you're talking about some of the elites, the elite of the best of the best.
Right, and I feel it's very much so a situation like the Playboy Mansion.
Yeah,
getting invited to the Playboy Mansion was a big fucking deal.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
What happens in the mansion stays in the mansion.
But here's
unless
the
you're
thing.
Charlie Sheen, then it goes home with you.
Well, then it just goes everywhere. It just follows you around in the back of the truck when you need it right there.
Doing heroin up
her ass. The thing with
ass.
the Playboy Mansion is not everybody had the same servicing level and insider level. You were invited and you were at the cocktail parties and you hobnobbed, but then there was other people that were into some other shit that nobody else knew. That everybody there was something going on, but nobody knew. I feel because I'm not a child, and I know I've seen the way the world works. That I'm sure that
You have?
I'm sure with the Epstein thing, there were multiple layers of who knew what, and just because President Trump was there or President anybody was there or Clinton was there or any other actor doesn't mean they were in the
Okay.
I'm not defending anybody, but you and I all know that we can have a house party and invite the kids and have all the children running around here, all right? And all the kids are happy and everything is going on. Oh, but no. One of the kids goes to go down to the basement.
Nope, you're not allowed in the garage.
Oh, no. It's just the guys down there. Nope. No kids down there, or vice versa. For us, it was the kids were in the den. We knew that shit smelled funny, and there was laughter and alcohol and adult shit going on upstairs. But we didn't know what the fuck was going on upstairs because we only kind of heard shit. We were only allowed in the den where the kids were.
When you see the movie Taken, and I know that came out many years ago, and the head fucking dickhead pimp is having a grand cocktail party upstairs. And they're all just nice, and they're clinking glasses, and they're eating caviar.
Right. And then downstairs,
there's 40 fucking Arab dudes bidding on virgins.
Right. Like you that. So now you got pictures of you at the club upstairs. Nobody.
Doesn't mean I bought me a 15-year-old.
Right.
I got you on that one.
But that's and I guess that's where I'm going. I'm not saying that there's not something fucked up going on there. I'm just saying that we all know that in life there's layers. And just because you're on a layer doesn't mean you know that another layer exists.
I'm not saying that President Clinton or President Trump or any of these people are guilty. But when Prince Andrew is basically called out onto the carpet with pictures and lawsuits and whatnot, I'm sure he's not the only one.
No, I'm not either. But what I'm saying is that obviously, as you get deep, individual cases with the shit that comes out, Andrew would go on the list of, I bet that guy was 2 or 3 layers deeper than President Clinton. You know what I mean? Like, President Clinton was there just because, it's the president. He's there. President Trump is there because, it's the president.
Prince Andrew was knuckles deep.
It looks good at that cocktail party upstairs. All right?
Here, man.
But, Prince Andrew was downstairs with the Arab guys bidding on virgins.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
would be my opinion. Not proven, but that's, everybody has a different access card to what level. Not everybody gets to the 18th floor, baby.
I compare it to Scientology. It's the same principle. I mean, you don't get the OT7 with not having a bankroll. I mean, that's like Scientology is the biggest pyramid scheme on the planet. You have to buy your way up to the top, which is why they recruit celebrities. And I don't know if you know this, but they can't find David Miscavige or his wife. She's been missing for years, and he's been missing for about a month.
Ooh.
Because there's a lot with the whole Danny Masterson trial that just happened.
That's right.
That he was he was let go.
That's right.
Yeah. With that R word that people like to throw around. He was on trial for that. I mean, in a sense, that kind of opened up that, and a lot of it had there was a lot of church involvement in that, and other people in Scientology that were around him during this time frame. There's a YouTube channel called Growing Up Scientology, and he's a former member, and he has a lot of insight to this stuff. It's a good channel. It's a good watch if that intrigues you at all. But yeah, that they can't find David Miscavige or Miss Cabbage, however you say it.
You can have all the cabbage you want.
Yeah, give me some coleslaw, bitch. What else? What do you got here? Let's see. What did I want to say?
I know one of you wanted to talk about the goddamn balloon.
Spit
it out.
Where's the Black Lives Matter outrage in the Memphis situation?
Oh, there isn't, and I'll tell you why. Because I've been keeping close eye on this. I'm glad.
I know exactly where it is too. They got no fucking leg to stand on.
Right, because 5 black cops beat up a young black man, and regardless, Tyree didn't have to die that day, Tyree Nichols. But I love the fact that they're hanging this on 5 black cops, 5 clops. Excuse me. The weather's great.
Oh, Baroon.
Right. 5 black cops beat up a black child, but somehow this is white supremacy. What?
I heard that last night. Who the hell was it? I want to say it was Matt Walsh. I said something about it, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Really? This is white supremacy? 5 black cops and one white guy that just got fired or whatever. I don't think he's been arrested.
I don't
think the white guy was arrested.
I don't know. The high school kids that beat up the 9-year-old girl on the school bus recently, and they're saying the girl started it. I don't give a fuck. That's a 9-year-old girl. You're an 18-year-old kid. Get your fucking hands in your pocket and you leave that kid alone. Well, let somebody else deal with that.
Speaking of level of respect, I was involved in a Karen situation yesterday. Minding my own business, going to Home Depot to return some lights. I bought the wrong lights for the basement.
Dumbass.
Got my shit in my arms, and this woman gets out of her car, walks over to this little old man who parked crooked in a handicap spot, and says, "Do you need to take up all 3 fucking handicap spots?" I stopped to turn around, and I look, he's just crooked in one spot. So she takes her phone out, starts taking fucking photographs of his license plate. That's when I say, what are you going to do? What are you doing? You have nothing else better to do in your fucking day than take photographs of an old man? So he's walking towards me, and he goes,
"Sir,
whoa.
Stand right there. I'm going to slap this bitch for you."
And he goes, "I'm 79 fucking years old. I called the head. I'm bringing this inside. The Home Depot girl's going to hand it to me. I'm going to leave. You're taking up 3 fucking spots." I said, "Oh, so you're stupid on 2 accounts. You can't fucking count because that's only 1 spot." And I didn't know fucking being a cunt was a handicap because she too was parked in the handicap spot. And that's when she went fucking off on me.
It can be a deadly handicap.
I start walking away. Start walking away, walk into the store. She's honking her horn at me. She's leaving. I pull my phone out, being a fucking smartass. She drives right up onto the sidewalk, almost into the door, and says, "Here's a good fucking look at it." I said, "I just wanted to see your pretty face, you fuck."
Yeah, no, tall.
She's going to call the cop.
Grande is large. The only one that isn't large is
Venti.
Congratulations!
You're stupid in 3
languages. You're an idiot in 3 languages.
That's the best line of that whole fucking movie.
I love that fucking movie. That is great. And every time somebody sees it who's never seen it before, they call me and they're like, "That's you in the coffee shop." I'm like, "Oh my god, yes." No, actually,
first of all, tall is large. Grande means large.
Grande means large.
Tall is large.
Venti
means grande means large in Spanish. Venti's the only one in fact that doesn't mean large, and it's Italian.
Oh, but yeah, I mean that's what I said to her. I'm like, he's 79 years old, man. Don't disrespect a man like that. A complete lack of respect. Mind you, stay in your fucking lane. Stay in your fucking lane. That's one of those woke bitches that think she's just one of those woke bitches that thinks everything revolves around her. Center of the fucking universe. I don't give a fuck about anybody else but myself. And when she's confronted with the truth, oh, I'm sorry I hurt your feelings.
I'll put it to you this way.
You're a fucking cunt.
That woke bitch. And as I said, when we had the text stream earlier, and I want to get to the AMC thing right quick when we're done with this conversation, because that's fucked up. Have you ever noticed that the people who cry out the most about bigotry and, this and that and the other thing aren't the marginalized communities, really? It's uppity white folk.
It's white people.
Yeah. Like if I have to hear how,
that's what she one of the things she said to me was, "He's parked like that. That's illegal. He's taking up 3 spots." I said, "Well, I see 1 and he's crooked. So sue him. It's not illegal. You dumb bitch.
Do me a favor, bitch.
Parking crooked is not illegal.
Take down his plate. Go to the police academy. Get yourself a badge and then come back."
Right. And I saw one of those YouTube shorts last night. It's a guy asks a room full of young women, so you want equality, 50% right down the middle, right? And all the girls, yeah. So he goes on to the military. He says, do you think that women should fight on the front lines? Oh, no.
Can't have it both ways, bitch.
Yeah, you can't scream for equality, and then once it's thrown at you, go, oh, I only want a quarter of that.
Mm-hmm. Well, look, I can go back to when Roe was overturned, and I correctly stated, for the record, online, it's out there. Can't wait for the 1-year anniversary so I can remind people how fucking ignorant they are, because I'm good at it. I said the overturn of Roe versus Wade is a really good thing because it puts the power back into the states. It puts the power back into your hands. When the topic comes up, get out there and vote. I had these so tolerant and inclusive and empathetic people telling me to kill myself, telling me that my daughter deserves to die. They said the worst horrendous shit. And guess what? That passes as tolerant. Fuck you.
Mostly peaceful.
Yeah, mostly peaceful.
Mostly peaceful in Philadelphia.
Don't pay attention to the inferno behind me. This is a mostly peaceful protest. Kyle Rittenhouse should have shot more people. That's my take.
Yeah, that just blows my fucking mind. And you're right. They're taking on somebody else's battle. Like she's fighting for the good of all handicapped people. Oh, come on.
Well, here's the thing, and I said this to.
Go put your cape away.
I've said this to people that we all know, publicly and privately. I said, if you really believe the bullshit you're spewing, get out there and do something about it. Really, get out there and fight the good fight. Do the real peaceful protest, not the shit that goes on in Philadelphia or in Minnesota or anywhere else. You know, petition the government, start a group, get out there, raise money, do your thing. But sitting on Facebook and virtue signaling, like every time something bad comes up, like you're fucking Batman and you have to have something to say about it, and you're calling a group of people Nazis. What I'd like to do with some of these people is duct tape them to a chair, no chloroform, just duct tape. Sit them in front of the BBC or Netflix or wherever and show them about 16 to 20 hours of actual footage of what the Nazis did. So the next time they misuse a phrase like Nazi or bigot or racist or phobe,
fascist,
because if I have to explain to someone what the actual term phobia means, I'm going to end up slapping a big-eared, nose ring wearing, tattoo under their eye, fucking dumbass cunt, male or female. You can be, hey, it's the one inclusive thing that I can say. A cunt can be a male or a female. I'm going to lose my shit. Words have meanings for a reason. And then all these made-up words, well, of course a cis white male would say that. I'm not a cis white male. I'm just a dude. That's how I identify. And my pronouns are fuck and off.
Well, I was watching TV, I don't remember how long, maybe a couple of years ago, and they started using that term, a cis male and cis female. I'm like, what is it? When did that change? Why is there a modifier before that pronoun?
Because there has to be.
What does it mean?
Label.
What does it even mean?
That you are in line with not only your body, but your feelings. Basically, you're a straight man.
Okay, that's fine.
So I'm a man.
Yeah, basically, yes. But now we have to have qualifiers.
Right.
You're
look. The swinging dick and the two saggy balls didn't give it away.
If I had called Herm a cis man 20 years ago, he'd have thought I was calling him a chick. And yeah, exactly. And
he'd call him a sissy.
He'd have jacked me up. Yeah, basically. But no, we have to have names for everything now.
The fuck did you just call me, asshole?
But that's the whole tolerance thing. And when you go into the Tyree Nichols thing, they're looking for reasons to be upset. They should be upset that a young man died. Don't care what he did. That boy didn't have to die that day. And I feel terrible, much like I feel terrible that George Floyd died. George Floyd did not have to die that day. But to ignore the things that came before, especially with George Floyd, I don't know if Tyree Nichols committed a crime other than running away from the cops. It was a traffic stop from what I heard. But then there were more stories, and I'm not quite sure what to believe, that he was involved with one of the cops' he was involved with one of the cops' ex-wives or something, and it was a targeted hit. I don't give a shit.
Yes,
the kid
Have you watched the entire interaction?
62 minutes of it. It's
yeah,
62 minutes.
Right.
It's a hard hour to watch.
It's 62 fucking minutes.
It only takes you 30 minutes to rub one out. They beat this kid for 60 minutes?
You have 2 or 3 different sets of tape. You have when they first pulled him over. You have when after the 5 of them were beating the shit out of him, and he managed to get the fuck away. I mean, that was flight or fight, straight up. Sure. And they got down to him again. They beat the shit out of him again. There's another one. You've got that. You've got all the footage, and then you've got footage while they're standing around after the arrest when they're talking shit, forgetting that they're still on full body camera.
Just back to business.
Like
business as usual.
Yeah, and a lot of shit where in the video you don't see him reach for a gun ever. But all of a sudden, they're starting to say things while they're standing around like they've realized they're on video. And all of a sudden, at no point in the thing, in the fight, you're like, he's grabbing for my... At no point do you hear any officer say, he's grabbing for a gun. He's grabbing for my gun. It's only afterwards, after everything's done, all of a sudden, one cop is like, yeah, he tried to grab my gun. Did you see it? He tried to grab it. It just looks bad, man. Like, I'm not saying he didn't try to grab your gun, but I saw the video and I didn't see it. And 5 of you kicking his ass didn't see or feel nobody trying to grab your weapon and say something. Because right then and there on video is when you said it. He's trying to grab my weapon. Well, all bets are off. It happened in the middle of the fight. You could have just killed him at that point.
Yeah, if that were to be true.
It takes a lot. It takes a lot for me to agree with that fucking moron, Whoopi Goldberg. But I heard a clip of something she said about this whole Tyree Nichols thing, and I'm going to agree with her.
She's hit or miss. She's hit or miss with me most days.
Oh, she's miss or miss 99% of the time.
She's miss or miss, and then once in a while she
comes up with a good one.
She doesn't hit a bullseye. She just hits a target.
Dude, even a pinch hitter hits a home run once in his lifetime.
Right.
She said the Tyree Nichols thing is perhaps worse than Rodney King 30 years ago, and I tend to agree with her. Because while Rodney King walked away, and yes, there were riots, and yes, there was discord, and he went to court, and initially the cops got off, but then they retry the cops and everything's, hunky-dory and whatever. Yeah, we went through a lot of unrest, but that was also a learning curve. That was also a way for us as we're coming up to become a more racially tolerant society. And I'm going to remember those words, racially tolerant, because tolerance doesn't have to be for everything, but we should be racially tolerant. It was worse than Rodney King because Rodney King got up, walked away, lived after that with a healthy settlement, and lived a fantastic life until he got drunk and drowned in his pool.
I'm gonna agree with that. I'm gonna agree with that statement. I'm gonna add that I think it's worse than Rodney King, given what we've in our lifetimes we have gone through. Oh, yeah. And as far as so much of the problems with white police officers on blacks and this and that, and I think this is worse because and I'm trying to look at this from Whoopi's point of view, which is as a black member of society.
As an intelligent human being, it's also difficult to look at things from Whoopi's point of view.
No,
yeah.
I'm literally trying to look at it from the point of, and I'll probably get some shit for this. You could never do that. No, I'm trying to empathize, and a person can actually do that, guys. Try to put themselves in someone's shoes.
Yeah,
we can't do it fully and have knowledge, but I can try to. So I would say that also from the point of a black member of society, given all the fight we've had for the problem with the police, you have right now the first situation where really the only assaulting officers are all black.
The first that we know of. Let's leave it there.
Well, right. Reported. It's
of.
on record. I'm not saying it's the first time. It's the first official time. All right. All right.
I just want to make sure that people out there, if they share this with their friends and whatever, it's not like we don't think that there's black on black police versus regular folks. Things going
very
on.
Much so is.
This just happens to be the first one that we can think of.
You've got a fully complete documented case of 5 officers beating the shit out of a person, and everybody in this situation is black.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so maybe the system, I'll take the system, is built on white supremacy. You're right, it is. But what we saw in the videos is not a case of white supremacy. What we saw was a group of police officers that you could hear from them talking that this was all about that thug lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
This was a beat down.
They treated it like they were gang members with a badge.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
very
yeah,
much
absolutely.
so. Like they had
Disgusting.
Carte blanche, no recourse, weren't worried about anything, didn't even care they were on film. They thought that they were fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you find out right quick you're not.
This is a problem with the type of person that is allowed to become a police officer. These guys chose violence right out the car.
They weren't serving and protecting anything but their own egos.
I mean,
that's well put.
Their first contact
Absolutely.
with him, within 10 seconds of contact with him, they had already opened the car. Were opening the car and trying to drag and threw him on the ground.
Yep.
You don't open a car and throw somebody on the ground.
Yeah,
not unless he took a shot at you. No,
their mind was made up the minute they stepped out of the car.
Yes,
they knew
for a purpose. They got out of that car and went up to his.
They got what they wanted that evening.
Yep, and this story has so many layers.
Down.
Yep, this story has so many layers. I'm sure in the weeks and months to come, we haven't heard the last of this.
No, it's going to be. This is one's going to stick for a while.
Right. Legacy media is not going to bury this, but they'll continue to push that fake bullshit that somehow 5 black cops beating a young black man to death is white supremacy.
Yeah, I can't wrap my head around that. Still, like we said pre-show, where
I'm not stupid. Again, I'm not woke, which means I'm intelligent. So I'm sure the woke folk will give you some long-winded soliloquy as to why 5 black cops beating a young black man to death is white supremacy. And I hope you stay awake for the whole thing because I would fall asleep about 30 seconds in.
Oh, I can tell you exactly what their reasoning is. The reasoning is where the police force originated from overseers on plantations, and the fact that it's still a white-run organization, and the blacks still have to bow. The black officers still have to bow to the whites and have to do with the whites and think like the whites. That's what they'll tell you. I'm not saying it's right, but that's that shit they'll spit.
Here's what I tell them in return. Until you remember that this is Memphis, Tennessee. Black mayor, black chief of police, and 5 black cops. Thank you. Fuck you. Bye. Sucks.
They'll pull the history and the origin story out.
Oh, I love when they do that, especially when I hear about slavery or Native Americans or whatever, and I can dispel that in 2 notes. However, I'm not going to do that here tonight because you want to talk about some stupid shit. By the way, God rest Tyree Nichols. I hope his family finds the justice they deserve.
Absolutely.
Anybody, if you want to go see a movie at AMC, it looks like their price tiers are changing. Who wants to tell us about the price tiers?
Yeah,
and why it's racist?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if it's racist.
When you named the cheap seats the black seats.
Oh no, that was me. That was me joking. Like, how are they going to do that? The white seats are expensive. I was being an asshole.
Okay,
but I will get into the divisiveness.
The red zone is for unloading of passengers only.
For real, don't start that white zone bullshit.
The first 3 rows are the dock seats.
Yeah, they are we call those the Seaford seats.
Yep. If you ever gone to a movie with our friend Andy, you had to sit like way up front and You needed a chiropractor and a tube of icy hot when you were done.
God.
Was he blind?
No.
He just liked being up front.
Andy's big ass just like to sit up front like a baby bird.
I remember being shit faced going to see the third Harry Potter movie, and the only theater we could find it in, it was the front row. So we were like this for 3 hours.
I was like that with
we were like nose to nose.
The Force Awakens. I was on the way end of the first row, so I had to kind of watch like this.
Oh God, that would hurt. Might as well just lay down at that point.
The first time I went to the movies with Andy, and we went to the movies, and he starts going down front and sits down. I'm like,
where are you going?
Chris, where the fuck is he going? Oh, he likes it down there.
He likes it down there. I like it way back here.
Right, way up here. I like that up here. That's great. But yeah, so AMC has decided that it is going to tier price certain areas of the theater. The tickets in the middle center of the theater will have a premium, which probably be a couple bucks. And like the seats down low, where you're not as good of a seat and not as good of the surround sound. I don't give a fuck on the surround sound in the theater. Just make it fucking loud, bitch. Those seats will be done at a reduced rate from whatever I guess it's the you'd have normal seats, but I understand why they're doing it. You know, you're trying to get the people that save people a little money, maybe get them in there. All right. Sorry, kids.
You're still getting an ass in a seat.
I'm going to rub some icy hot on your neck, and then we can watch the movie.
You know why they're making that move is because box office is at an all-time with COVID. So if they can eke their numbers up, because it's an inflated price. So you're saying say $3 premium over say a $20 ticket. So I'm paying $23 to sit dead center. That's $3 extra that goes right back to the movie theater, because they have to pay a commission to show that movie on their screen.
Well, they have to actually they have to pay off the movie first. Ticket sales are what pays for they have to buy those movies, and they buy rights.
Yeah.
So the tickets is what pays for them purchasing the films that they show in their licensing.
Right.
It's the concessions and everything else that makes their profit.
That's why a candy bar is $15. That goes right in their pocket.
Right.
So if they can generate more revenue just on ticket prices, it's good for them. I mean, especially you see Niantic Cinemas is closed. One of the last mom and pops.
I get that, but I also think that the policy's slightly divisive.
Oh, I absolutely agree with you.
All right. I mean, we already talked about this earlier, but let's be honest. You can't see a bunch of rich kids sitting up in the center paying extra, loaded up with candy and shit, and the poor kids down front without a lot of shit, and there ain't going to be some shit started because they in the cheap seats. I guess the whole thing was like, movie theater was everybody was on a level playing field. If there was equality, you want the good seats, you did what you had to do, and you got there an hour early, and you sat there and talked with your friends for a fucking hour, and went to the bathroom and the concession stand 4 times because the movie still ain't started yet. Well, that's how that worked. It was a whole night. Half the fun of going to the movie was the hour you hung around before it.
Yeah, and the hour afterward just being an asshole in the parking lot.
Yeah, in the parking lot, fucking around or going to get something to eat. But I think the whole...
It's like going to a rock concert. Oh, man, he got front row seats. Seats, not general admission. You got front row seats, and I'm way the fuck up here. You know, hey, if I want to see somebody bad enough and I can afford the good seats, I'm getting the good seats.
Bingo.
Or the moderately good seats. Like we're going to see Chris Stapleton in June, and we got at the Xfinity Center up in Mass. We got.
I loved his mom.
I'm like, yeah, Maureen,
Gene
Stapleton,
Gene and Maureen.
Yeah, well,
Stapleton.
the thing with concerts nowadays is that the technology, and I'm going to get into the sound production thing. The technology with music now, and the way everything's run, They're really and what they can do with the speakers they have now, and not needing stacks to the fucking ceiling, and everything's on the roof. You can pretty much go to any concert in any seat, and there isn't a bad sounding seat in the house.
Oh, I can attest to that, because I don't know how many times we just saw Anthrax the other night, Lynch and I, and I've only seen Anthrax in small venues, 3,000 seats or less, and in some cases, I saw Anthrax twice at the Station nightclub, and depending on where you are, it sounds bad. That arena, the way they set that up, and by the way, it was nice to see Anthrax headline an arena without an Ozzy or a Kiss or a Metallica. It's time aligned.
They're running a mono signal, so there is no left or right stereo separation. Everybody gets the same fucking signal everywhere.
It sounded phenomenal.
The way that the model of sound that they use for sound for concerts is how I run all of my events. I run everything time aligned and in mono, and I don't do that stereo bullshit. Any of it. It's just better sound, and the technology now is just amazing. But your visuals might not be that hot. You might get stuck behind a stage, but you will not have a bad sounding seat anywhere nowadays.
But yeah, the whole thing with the movie thing drives me nuts, because like you guys have both pointed out, you get there, the whole thing is everybody pays the same price, you're seeing the same movie, you're only in there with 200 people. This isn't like 20,000 people going to see Taylor Swift.
Right.
Pick your seat, get there early enough, fuck off.
I gotta be honest, I'm not even big on the whole fucking, what's the upgraded, the fucking movie theaters with recliners and shit. Fuck off. If I wanted to sit in a recliner, I'll just wait and watch it on my goddamn house. This is a movie. It's a theater. The whole point is the fight over the cup holder and the sticky shit on the floor.
There is a theater, I want to say it's in Manchester, Connecticut, that serves beer. I've waited for that my entire life.
Oh, no, that I can get behind. Just fucking take my money.
The Mystic Village Cinema, you can get beer.
No shit.
Yeah, they've been doing that for years now. I love seeing a movie in those theaters.
I think I saw it.
You know what it is? We were never old enough to get beer when we were going there.
I went, and I'm not you know me, I'm like very minimal on superhero movies. There's only certain ones I like, but I had to go see Age of Ultron, which, whatever. I needed a couple, 3 beers to get through that.
Yeah, I'm a Marvel. I'm that whole Marvel universe I'm a fan of, so it's good.
But that movie was terrible.
Yeah, it wasn't the greatest. It was a good story leader to lead into the next 4 or 5 series.
But give me Captain America Winter Soldier if you're going to give me any of those Marvel movies.
Ooh. Yes, and and personally, I'm all 3 Iron Man movies.
Yeah, all right.
I love the Iron Man.
Which one had what the fuck's his name? Mickey Rourke. Which one had
Number
Mickey
2?
Rourke?
That was 2. Iron Man 2.
Where is my bird?
Where is my bird?
My bird.
Bring me my bird.
Black Panther: Wakanda Forever dropped 2 days ago on Disney Plus. So
I refuse to pay for Disney Plus. Fuck Disney.
Yeah,
not after that Proud Family bullshit.
Well, yeah, and to be honest, the whole Disney thing, and I got it for the Star Wars, but I don't really like any of the new shit. It's horrible. It's completely horrible. It's not George Lucas, and all the new Star Wars shit is ruined.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
The 2 best ones were Rogue One and Han Solo.
Han Solo was all right. It was all right.
Oh, you mean the offshoots?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just not big with all the continuation of the story. Not really into it now that Lucas isn't involved.
Lynch, are you going to die?
Don't like what they do.
No.
Please don't die.
Please don't die. Good Christ.
It's like the tuberculosis ward in here.
Oh, my Lord. Come with me. It's only a shower. Don't worry about it. We'll cure your TB. Just come into the concrete shower.
Take some pictures.
Give you $50.
Right? Who's just sit and watch this movie?
He just wants to take some pictures.
Fuck.
Put the fucking lotion in the basket.
Oh, did anybody watch the Grammys?
Yes, I was just going to lead into that.
All right, because
I didn't watch it voluntarily.
And the devil worship?
My wife loves award shows. Let me preface it with saying that. But yeah, skip forward to the opening. I thought the Puerto Rican Pride Parade busted through my living room.
What's wrong with
the
that?
Puerto Rican Pride Parade. It's a great day. They are awesome. It's a great day in New York down there at Times Square. It's fucking awesome.
Bad Bunny,
I'm not gonna lie.
Who the fuck is Bad Bunny? Is that who that
I'm all about the Bad Bunny.
I'm the Bad Bunny.
I like the Bad Bunny.
Is he the one that was yammering for the first 15 minutes there?
I don't know. I didn't watch, but I heard Bad Bunny was there, and I like me some Bad Bunny. Even though I can't understand.
All right. He's pretty fucking slick.
He got a song about Booker T, and I downloaded it, and I can only understand 2 words in the whole song. Booker T.
Yeah.
Para que quiera matar a Macena Booker T. Para que quiera Booker T. And and Spinneroonie. I got that word in there too. So you want to sing a song about Booker T? I'm a download. I don't understand a fucking thing Rammstein says, but I listen to their shit all the time.
It's it.
The whole Satan worship thing, I get it, but I don't get it.
Well, I think it's. I'm not gonna lie. When we were discussing the Memphis thing, I think it's the same extreme far right asshole that is the equivalent to the same far left asshole that's going to the white supremacy thing.
Right.
Guys, it's a theatrical show. The name of the song is The Unholy.
How can I get upset because my favorite band has a song called Unholy?
You know,
the imagery.
Stop clutching your pearls.
Yep.
Yeah. Step forward.
I get the imagery, and I get that it's theatrical. I also I had to look back at it and get a timeline. When the performance went on, the kiddies are in bed. Let it go. If you've watched Carrie or
it was an after right for you guys. For you guys, it was an after 10.
Yeah. So the kiddies are in bed.
For me, it was For me, it was 2 hours. For me, it was 2 hours behind. But that's how it works here. You get what goes on based on prime time and
if we're gonna go on the horror movie route, it's okay to have this horror movie production by Sam Smith and the Tranny because Jigsaw came out later on in the Oh wait, that's Madonna.
Yeah. Oh my God, what the fuck happened?
Who injected her face with bagels?
It's bad, right?
I think it looked like concrete, dude. Her cheekbones were like 2 masonry bricks glued to her face.
She looks like the lady that works the jewelry counter. She looks like the lady that works the jewelry counter at Walmart.
Yeah.
She doesn't look like
you know who she reminds me of? Do you remember the puppet Madam?
Yes, that's exactly what she looked like. Madam.
Boom.
She's turning into Madam.
I'm like, that bitch looks
what was
like
his name?
Madam.
Waylon Flowers. I don't even have to look that up. I want to look up a picture and maybe we can send it to the folks.
For real, like
I just typed in Waylon F and it said Waylon Flowers and Madam.
Yes.
How fucking appropriate!
I was like, that's fucking. She's turning herself into Madam.
I don't know if I can get this to translate on the screen here.
There it is.
There it is.
Now that's Madam. Depending on which way you look at it, that could also be Madonna, or if I drew some red shit on her face, that could be Jigsaw.
Yes, it could be.
So, yeah, good call by you, Mike. Wow. Unbelievable.
Yeah. What? Who told her that looked good?
Obviously, the doctor that did the work.
Right? The dude who did
he just bought a brand new yacht.
2 of them.
On her dime.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. She had just bought him a brand new yacht.
She's 64 years old this year.
Yeah.
Just go gracefully.
Right?
Like Rita Moreno.
Has Madonna ever done anything gracefully?
Look at Rita Moreno. She's in her 80s and she minimal or no work done to her.
I
just saw her on Lopez versus Lopez, and let's be clear, she looks the same as she did 30 years ago.
Always. Just a little
Sophia Loren.
Yeah. Oh, same.
Oh, Sophia Loren.
In her heyday, she was one of the most beautiful women in the world.
Sophia Loren.
The fact that
absolutely
hated her.
Stunning.
The fact that in 1995, when they put out the second Grumpier Old Men movie, and she was 60-something then.
And smoking.
Yeah, and Anne Margaret, same thing.
We were looking at her like she was like GILF. She was like the grandma we'd like to fuck because she reinvented that shit with Sophia Loren. Like, oh my god,
when I was a kid,
that old lady on the TV.
Okay, stop. I gotta ask you guys. Tell your story, Lynch. I got something to ask you guys. It's in the news.
When I was a kid, I was obsessed with Anne Margaret. Anne Margaret and Natalie Wood.
Only one of them lived.
And
yeah, unfortunately, I love Natalie Wood. Natalie Wood was beautiful, and she was a very good actress.
I love that.
Was a weird situation. What happened with her?
Yeah, and I know they just made a documentary about it. I'm waiting to find out where I can find it and watch it and whatever.
I think it's on Freevee.
Whatever that is.
Used to be IMDb TV.
Ow, okay.
Cramp. I got a cramp in my leg. Motherfucker.
Don't do it.
Some streaming service for poor people.
You know, I've
basically this is all the shit HBO doesn't want. Oh wait, no, this is the shit that Showtime After Hours doesn't want.
We're talking about us at 50, looking at someone at like Rita Moreno or Sophia Loren, who are older ladies, and I've seen myself. People, there you go. I've seen people our age and or slightly older look at, say, Jason Momoa, who is 31 or whatever the fuck, or whatever new hot actor or singer or
Henry
whatever.
Cavill.
Yeah, and whether they're 20 to whatever, once you're a grown adult, I don't think age means a goddamn thing unless you want to talk to them. And I'm not sure these people want to talk to them. They just want to fuck.
Henry Cavill is 40.
Okay. I wouldn't so much speaking to him. But when Leonardo DiCaprio is getting dragged through the mud for dating a 19-year-old, oh, that's terrible. She's not old enough. He's taking advantage of her.
She better enjoy these. She better enjoy these 6 years.
All I'm saying is we live in a society that thinks that 8-year-olds can tell you that they're a girl, not a boy, or a boy, not a girl, and that's completely okay. But a 19-year-old woman who can vote and join the military and get a job and not quite drink alcohol yet, but that person is not mentally capable of making this decision. You can't have it both ways.
No, you can't. I mean, and there's been people in Hollywood who were married in their their twilight years, married to much younger people.
Anna Nicole Smith, anyone?
Well, that was the opposite. She married a really old dude who set her up. But then another sad story.
Hefner.
Yeah. Hugh Hefner.
Hefner was probably knuckle deep as his heart was taking its last beat.
I would hope so. God bless him.
With the nurse.
God bless him and his.
Oh my God, his pulse is weakening. Why does he have a finger in me?
What the fuck?
All the blood is rushing from his head.
You want to be in my magazine?
Right.
Get the rubber mallet and whack that thing down. Push that blood back to the head. He's going to have a stroke.
Jesus
no, I didn't say
Christ.
stroke it, Mr. Hefner.
Too late. Too
late.
I'm trying to get my heart rate back.
The best thing about the Grammys was the celebration of the rap. I thought that was a really good segment. Start to finish, there wasn't a bad performance, I think.
Now, I have to ask you, because you watched the show, was there clapback in the crowd as much as there was online when darling Beyonce, her of 15 writers and 6,000 producers, didn't win Song of the Year, but Bonnie Raitt did?
I think the look of shock on Bonnie Raitt's face was absolutely genuine.
Yeah,
she had absolutely
I've seen clips,
no idea
and
of what.
I want to watch tonight, but it looked more like Bonnie Raitt was more surprised than Beyonce was disgusted.
She was glad to be there. Oh, I'm not talking about Beyonce being disgusted. I'm talking about the general public who think that Beyonce could put out an album of farts and it should be regarded as the greatest thing on.
No, I don't think anybody has a problem with Bonnie Raitt winning that.
No, I mean,
award.
she's an icon, for Christ's sake. And any female musician would look up to her as an icon and follow her lead.
Oh, no, musicians? Yes.
Yeah,
general public who are too stupid to tie their own fucking shoes? No.
Well, we're not.
I am talking about the general public, though. The clapback was, and I didn't even watch a goddamn show. And I'm like, wait a minute. People are upset because Beyonce the golden goddess of whatever the fuck, whose music is not that good, didn't win Record of the Year. Why? Because her name is Beyonce. That's why she should win.
Well,
I gotta ask, did Kanye come up on the stage when Bonnie Raitt accepted the award?
No.
Damn.
No.
What the hell?
I mean,
Bonnie, I'm happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce made the greatest song of all time.
For real.
Kudos to her, to Beyonce for breaking a record. Was it 36 Emmys?
And she only earned,
Grammys, rather.
She only earned 3 of them.
Yeah. Well, when you have 15 to 20 writers writing a song for you, the 6 groups of musicians backing you up.
Well,
I'd write you a song better than McDonald's.
That's what you get when you have major labels backing you.
You're the cash cow.
You have money.
Right. They invest in you, so they put and I'm not taking anything away from fucking songwriters and like bands where there is a songwriter like Queen.
Yeah.
But what you get with major labels now is a bunch of focus. You get a focus group that comes in and helps you put that shit out. Because your artists aren't really writing your songs.
Right.
Somebody else
they're farming them out.
And then they're working them out in studio.
Right. And everybody knows now, especially now because of streaming and why should I buy the whole album when you just download the 2 songs I love, which will cost me $3.
Right.
Because for $10 a month, I can download unlimited albums. I will listen to your offering, and I will pick and choose the ones I keep.
Right.
And it doesn't even have to be the hit. I mean, I don't know how many times I've downloaded a record, not to get off the topic, but because of what you just said, is that, let's say, and I'm trying to think of the last major artist that put out a record that not named Ghost. But I'll download the new record and I'll listen to it 2-3 times. I'm like, I've already got in my head which 3 or 4 I like. The others are shit canned.
Yeah.
They're gone.
And
it's not always the hit that the A&R guy thinks is going to light the world on fire.
Yeah, it's nice having that choice. But nowadays, an artist does not make money on sales. They made pennies on the dollar in the 60s through the 90s. Now they're making fractions of pennies on the dollar. It's all in touring, merchandising, and doing free live appearances on SNL, the Tonight Show, shit like that. That putting yourself out there on a tour for a year is what pays your fucking bills, unless you got a really good contract and you got an advance.
And especially when you're someone
satisfied
like Beyonce,
the contract.
You ever seen the ticket prices for a Beyonce show, or even worse, an Adele show? And Adele is fantastic. Don't get me wrong. If you have $200 to spend on a nosebleed seat, by all means, spend it. Adele can sing her ass off. Beyonce can sing, but you're not going to convince me or you're the most talented woman in the world and your 15 songwriters are any good when your biggest hit repeats the line, all the single ladies, all the single ladies, all the single ladies, all the single ladies, all the single ladies for about 4 minutes, and you throw in about 6 lines in between.
What's that song called?
I think it's called All the Single Ladies.
Oh, I thought it was Trout.
Oh, I have no idea. For all I know, it's fucking Stairway to Heaven. I don't listen to it. Dude, all right.
Here, mark it down. To stare.
Mark it down. 7/14 here on the East Coast, February 7th. I would rather listen to a Nickelback record than listen to Beyonce.
Ooh.
Yeah, you heard it here.
That's nice.
You heard it here.
You heard.
Oh,
you heard. We've heard.
Oh.
Yeah. So the Grammys were a train wreck for the most part. Sam Smith's red carpet outfit was ridiculous, as was Lizzo.
Oh my God.
She looked like a pumpkin that exploded. No, I like her.
Oh, no, you're fat shaming now. You can't do that. Lizzo's brave.
Like her.
Lizzo's she's a talented singer. I do like.
You know what? She's a beautiful woman too. I mean,
I like her commercials. Their commercials are funny.
I bet there's some good pussy under that gut. I'm just saying. I don't discriminate.
I don't discriminate.
Okay.
I marinate.
I quit.
That's it. 7:16 p.m. 2023. Burns gives his resignation.
I fucking quit. No, you're good. Please don't die. That reminds me.
He took too big of a hit.
He's reminding me. That reminds me of the about the 17 minutes to go mark in Clerks 3 right there. Oh, has anybody seen Clerks 3?
I haven't
not yet.
That's why I asked you if it was free or not.
Fuck Kevin Smith. Through his asshole, out his mouth, and then back into his asshole. Dude, a Kevin Smith movie, especially with that cast of characters, Dante and Randall and Silent Bob and Jay and the whole 9 yards. And I'm going to say this, and I'm unashamed, should not bring me to tears.
I already know that. Spoiler alert, I already know how it ends.
Motherfucker.
He's older now. He's writing
Herm, the entire fucking film was hilarious. I laughed so much. It was just the same. You know, it's what you expect. You know, when you go to McDonald's and you order a double quarter pounder, you know what to expect. You know, when you read a Batman comic, you know what to expect. And when you watch a Kevin Smith movie that isn't named Jersey Girl, you know what to expect. This, with somewhere between 20 and 17 minutes left to go in the film, nope. You fucked me up. Fuck you, Kevin Smith. And fuck your thin wannabe ass. Fuck your heart attack having, not being Jerry the King Lawler, who, by the way, last report, Jerry the King Lawler, getting better. Had a stroke, but awake and alert and doing fine.
Very good.
So we won't notice anything different then with Jerry.
No. He'll have more plastic surgery. He'll just look like Jerry the King 1993.
He'll still slur his words and ramble on. So
for a guy who doesn't drink, he slurs a lot. Clerks 3. Here's the thing. I watched it. I rented it on Amazon. You got a 48-hour rental. I watched it 3 times. I just wanted to see. I'm like, is there something I missed? Was there like clues throughout the film that this was going to happen? Nope. Fuck you, Kevin Smith.
You know it was going to open the way it opened because of what happened to him in life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm going to talk very obtusely about this, and I think the ending, the reason that happened, is that chapter of his life, you know what I'm saying, is done. And he's putting this to bed. He's putting that storyline to bed because you can't do one without the other.
I am so glad.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yep. I am so glad that in September when they had that big to-do and you and I were talking about going and I don't know what happened and we didn't go. I'm glad we didn't go.
Yeah. I'm glad too.
Shit.
And, you know, I'm going into the, well, you know, again, I just basically just have to see the movie because I already know the whole thing. I going into it a little, you know, suspect. It's, here I thought they ended it perfectly with Clerks 2. That was a good period. And
the Jay and Silent Bob reboot, for all the shit it got, I loved it. Jay's daughter, oddly enough, which is Kevin Smith's real life daughter, makes an appearance in Clerks 3. Brief as it may be, right? But she's in there. Yep. I have to say, and I'm going to say this to Herm, one of the things I've always picked on Herm's oldest about is the identity change. Not that he identifies as anything other than Travis Herman, male human being, but you know, going from like skater kid to football kid to this kid to that kid. Now he's a grown adult and he seemed to have found his way. Elias's character in this movie, right after the thing happened and the stuff, and I don't want to spoil it, watch the movie, he just went from here to here, and it reminded me of Travis. Yeah. Attention deficit. Oh, hey, shiny. But I'll give him credit, and this is where it goes back to praising Travis, because I think the world of the kid. As do I. Once Elias got...
He's all right.
Once Elias got his footing, and this is who I am, and this is what I'm going to be, never look back. Yeah. Yeah, and I think Kevin Smith has had that identity crisis a couple times in his life. Mm-hmm. You know, the one time he went out and directed something he didn't write, Cop Out. Yeah.
fucking train wreck.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a shame. It's a shame because there's some good actor. Tracy Morgan, I think, is one of the funniest motherfuckers on the planet. He could read the phone book and I would laugh. It's just because it's Tracy Morgan. The only reason I ever watched the show 30 Rock was because of Tracy Morgan. He
had an accident not too long ago, and when he came back, he did a comedy thing, and yeah, he was a little bit slower than usual, but it was fucking fantastic.
It was good. Yeah, he got hit by a Walmart truck. He was in a bus, like a rented bus with his, I guess his tour manager and some actual friends from like childhood, and a couple of those people died.
Mm-hmm.
And he got a huge payday, but it's undisclosed. He legally can't disclose how much money he received, but from the windfall that I hear is like 3 digits in the millions.
Didn't he start that comedy special in that pimp suit? It was a really nice looking suit. Yeah. And he was like, "You like my suit? Thanks, Walmart."
Yeah. Yeah. He kind of puts that in there throughout that entire hour. He's like thank you, Walmart.
Like the ads I'm seeing right now for the new Roseanne Barr special, and she leads it off with, "Anybody gotten fired lately?"
Anybody got fired lately?
If you can't make fun of yourself, fuck you. And we're 3 of the biggest ball busters there is, but even we pick on ourselves a lot.
Oh yeah,
a lot of
self-deprecation.
Right, and we're okay with it, and and I've said it in episodes past when Herm picks on me or I pick on Lynch or Lynch picks on us or whatever, and I brought up Herm making fun of religion not too long ago, and one listener privately didn't want me to blow up their spot, be like, "Herm does that? How terrible." I'm like, no, you don't understand. He's not picking on me. He's picking on the overall belief in, how crazy, zealous, religious people get. He's not picking on Chris because he understands. I can see both sides.
Right. I got no issue with you doing whatever it is that you do and how you do it.
Right.
It's the whack jobs I got.
Oh yeah. Like when Herm says talking to the invisible man in the sky. When he says talk to the invisible man in the sky, to me, I'm like, you know what? That's cool every now and again. It can't be cool all the time, but I get where he's going. So right. I don't usually
use it directed at you. I use it when I'm talking to you about a situation and a group of people and I usually use that when I'm addressing like zealots.
Yep. Yeah. Well, it's kind of like the assholes that pick on NASCAR yet watched the race the other day. Fuck you, fat boy. And
oh man, look, they're driving around the Leonard High School track. That's really cool.
Yeah, that's the only thing that bothers me. That race can go fuck itself, which you guys will hear all about Wednesday night on the Speedway Review.
Dude, they're blowing donuts. No, this is a race.
No. How big is that track? About 38 feet.
Yeah.
Who's in first?
One lap.
Who's in first? The guy that's in last.
Dude, this is no joke. When they started the 3rd qualifying race, the 50-lap qualifier.
When they started the 50 laps?
Yep. Because the main event was 75-75. So when they did the 50-lap qualifiers, it was the last chance qualifiers, I got up at lap 24, and I went to the bathroom, and I took care of some business that had been brewing in my stomach all day long. And I came back. It was 4 to go.
No, you took a long shit.
Yeah,
like
that
you
was a quick race. Burrito and you missed the race.
Right? I know it wasn't very long, dude. This is a 1/4-mile track that they put in the LA Coliseum.
That's crazy,
anyway, man. You want to hear the rest of the race talk? Go to
yeah, it wasn't even an oval. It was like a
paper clip.
It was like a almost like a weird diamond shape.
Yeah,
it was wide in the middle and got narrow in the ends and then tapered. It was
like a racing.
It was a diamond track.
It was a racing vagina.
Dude, pretty much. It was welcome to the Hatchet Wound 500.
Fuck.
Oh my god.
And now I'm watching the words Hatchet Wound 500 come up on my screen. And hey, they're not censoring us anymore. Fuck is actually fuck.
Oh.
Hey, Mike, the weatherman just said prefrontal warmth.
Prefrontal warmth.
I want some of that.
Wow.
I laughed
the
out
weatherman
loud.
this morning is like, we got a day. We're dealing with a lot of prefrontal warmth. I'm like, I'd like a little of that.
Sounds like a good day at Musquamacut. Wow.
I laughed out loud at work, and everybody's looking at me like, "What's so funny?" I'm like, "Never mind."
You had to be there. I guess you had to be there. Oh. Well, I think we've covered all the stupidity, and without even having to talk about the stupid balloon that took a picture of every Dollar General between Montana and North Carolina. I can see the Chinese government now just going, how many Dunkin' Donuts and Dollar General do they need?
They overtaken Starbucks.
Right.
No,
they could use a Sonic right there.
It is a little concerning, especially based upon China's reaction to us shooting it down.
Don't send a spy balloon if you don't want to get it shot down.
Well, and
keep your ball out of my fucking yard, kid.
I don't know if that happened. Long haul to get off course. China and Montana are really. It's not a quick jaunt down the road.
Right.
That bitch was. It went into Alaska. They know where it went. That's what fucking baffles me. It went into Alaska, then in Montana. So they know where it's been, but why didn't they see?
Right.
Hello.
We got you now.
Hello. Yeah, it made all that zigzag pattern. How the fuck did they know where it was? But why didn't they know about it in Alaska?
Because Joe Biden is a pussy who's afraid to do anything.
Well, he must be surrounded by pussies because they're supposed to support him.
He was advised not to, given the fact that we weren't sure what the fuck was on it.
Well, right, and knowing is a big handicap because who knows if there's a little warhead on there.
Right.
Just saying. Right. Just throwing that out there.
I mean, yeah. I don't think that's the preferred method of delivery for a tactical weapon. Is to put it in the wind and hope it goes where we need it to go.
I'm just spitballing here.
No, I know, and I listen to Sean Hannity at work because
why? Okay.
Because I was listening because that's what somebody else had on the radio while they were working.
You're not listening to the junction?
You're
not listening to the junction?
No, that radio, it's old. The radio
all right. I thought maybe somebody had like a gimmick device.
No, it's an actual radio. It's a boom box.
Ooh, I remember those.
Yeah, it's like 158D batteries.
Adidas.
Yeah, I mean, I heard that, and I heard everybody rambling on about that. I'm like, I think that's a little, you know what? And monkeys could fly out of my butt, but that's not, let's be honest, that's not the preferred delivery method for a tactical weapon.
No.
China already has weapons that'll just shoot the fuck over here.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was a test for something, more a test of seeing a reaction, more a test of seeing how long before we admitted we knew about it. That's why I'm sure they knew about it when it hit Alaska. We had to fucking watch and see what the fuck it was.
Right, and they could have shot it down over Montana. Why they chose the eastern side is
they waited until it was out over the ocean, and if there was any fallout, it wasn't falling out on property; it was falling into the ocean. Bye-bye.
Yeah, easy. Hopefully, easy recovery. Have we heard anything about anything they've recovered?
No, I've heard that there's parts of shit starting to wash up.
Okay.
But that's all I've heard. I
haven't been keeping track of that story.
I haven't heard what we found. Just that, it's started to pieces.
This shit's still scary, though. What if? What is it? What did they send over?
Right.
Maybe it was a weather device. Who knows?
Maybe it was. And what Herm said is, I'm sorry. Go ahead, please.
If you think that they don't have the same satellites that we do up in the sky, you're fucking shit.
Yeah, they don't.
You're in dreamland because guess what? They know what we're doing anyway. They know before we do.
They don't need a balloon to spy on us.
No. They got Google Earth and TikTok.
They're using the balloon for another. They're not using it for tactical delivery because it's not controllable.
I think you're right.
I think
you're right.
Of we're checking
the action.
It's like checking to see if the motion sensors in the house are on.
How far? I get past security. How far can I go?
Right. Like I'm not trying to. I know I'm not getting in, but how far can I go before somebody says something?
If I get to the second row,
right? We already know that United States, Russia, China, North Korea, anybody with an evolved military has missiles that they can shoot and can take the hair off the back of your head without killing you from 1,200 miles away. Because
they can knock on the door and ask where the baby's room is.
Right?
Yeah. I chalk it up to them testing us, like Herm said. They wanted to see how we would react and what we would do once we saw it. And we did exactly what the United States always does. They soft shoe around it.
We did.
They just soft shoe it.
But we did it. No, that's the point. With the United States, we don't have to freak out.
No.
Let's hold up. Let's watch and see what the fuck happens. And then if something really bad goes down, then
we kill your ass. Yep.
All right. So they probably checked it, sensed it, and knew to a degree how safe or unsafe it was, but weren't positive.
Right.
So we already know they got satellites and they can see everything anyway. So who cares what the fuck this thing sees? So
it sees me use my left hand instead of my right hand.
Let's be America. Let's wait, let it drift over, let it do everything like nobody gives a shit. And then when they think it's all over and it's blown over us, then we're gonna blow their toy right out of the fucking sky.
Then we kill their ass.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we start shit. So they didn't do anything. There's nothing they could see. There was no weapon. We blew up their shit just to be a dick about it. Now we wait and see what they do. That's America.
That is
and
America.
We did it for God and for Jesus and for Mr. McMahon.
And for Mr. McMahon. God bless Mr. McMuffin.
Oh, right. Figured you'd have been on the button for that one, Herminator.
I know. I got to put that thing in the box.
Yeah, box.
I got to put that thing in the little.
He's got to put Sheiky in the box, man, because
Sheik in the box.
It's a Sheik in a box. Ooh, a Sheik in a box.
My dick in a box.
Get a box.
Two, put the Sheik in the box.
Sheik in the box.
Make Herm open the box.
It's a Sheik in the box.
Oh my Lord!
I can hear the #1 single in my head.
Right, we got 2 weeks next week. First of all,
because of these,
right? And he hasn't mentioned butt stuff.
No, I'm trying to refrain.
Next week is the rookie holiday, Valentine's Day, when we record.
Yeah.
Fuck all of you rookies who still believe in this bullshit ass Hallmark holiday.
The anti-Valentine's Day show is next week.
We will have some fun shit for you next week. And then 2 weeks from today, in honor of my daughter's 15th birthday, I am taking a request. Her birthday's the day after Valentine's Day. What better way to celebrate her 15 years on the planet than to do her favorite thing that we do on this show? It'll be the Valentine's Day Fallout edition of Am I the Asshole?
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, here we go.
Guys, this is your show next week. And I say, guys, it's a focus group. Men, ladies, maybe if you want to. We want all sorts of Valentine's Day horror stories next week. JunctionDysfunctionShow@gmail.com.
What is a lady?
Facebook page. What is a woman? Someone who still thinks Valentine's Day is a real fucking holiday. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. I get the trifecta. I get Christmas, then her birthday, then Valentine's Day.
You still do that shit.
Months back to back. Yeah, I mean, it's tradition. I've been doing it since we first started dating. So.
Yeah, we have we started our own tradition. I don't fucking do that.
That's right.
Dude,
there are traditions in this country I don't want to deal with, and I'm not going to do them. Slavery was one of them, and dudes sucking each other's dicks in Provincetown is another one.
Was it?
Oh, they waited till the end of the show.
They did.
You rat bastards. These motherfuckers.
Take
a
the
bunch
moral
of dogs.
Barction.
Yes, the dogs.
Bark.
The
Bark.
symphony of dysbarction has reared its wonderful head.
Yes,
as we close out. Is there anything you guys want to throw onto the topic table next week for the anti-Valentine's Day spectacular?
No, I'm good.
I think that kind of writes itself.
Am I the asshole? And just let it run.
Well, I'm out the asshole. Be the next week. I want to see what the Reddit crowd did or didn't do to earn themselves some pussy or weenie or whatever the fuck they're getting on Valentine's Day.
Yes, we'll see some Valentine's Day fallout.
It's a beautiful
man-made
thing.
vagina.
And maybe, just maybe, if I'm nice, since it was in fact the very first time we ever did it, I'll go to the Google machine. I'll bring some 1-star strip club reviews next week.
Oh,
there we go.
Very nice.
There we go.
Maybe some Valentine's Day.
Ooh,
my grandma took me to a strip club on Valentine's Day. I wouldn't eat the burger.
The prime rib was excellent. Would recommend for kids.
That kid. I hope that kid gets taken on Valentine's Day by his grandma.
On that note, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, if you're a child watching this show, we apologize greatly, and we hope you don't grow up.
This show is not for you, kid.
Until next week, behave yourselves.
Do I have to?
No.
No, you don't have to.
If a 9-year-old can choose their gender, then damn it, an 8-year-old should be allowed in the strip club.
Hot